Collaboration time at Hiatt is key to keep best practice going throughout the school. We really believe that if you are able to talk with other teachers and share ideas and share knowledge, your teaching is only going to get better and stronger.
At the Hiatt School, we do rounds where the rounds are based on medical rounds. You go in and you sit with your peers and you learn from them. We are able to go into each other's classrooms and to observe our fellow teachers working on some of the best practices that we have here at the Hiatt. We do it many times during the school year, and it's usually voluntary. The administration is very good at providing coverage if you want to go see somebody do a lesson. We've done a lot on open response this year because it is our focus. We've had some people that haven't been sure that they're doing open responses correctly, and they wanted people to come in and say, watch me, am I doing it right? We were reading books by all of these experts and watching videos by all these experts, and it kind of dawned on us that, we could do that. That could be one of us on that video. That could be one of us that writes that book. And so we started to look into the idea of why can't we learn from each other? I typed up a round sheet for everyone so that you had an idea of what exactly was going to happen this morning. It contains our objective, which is that students will be able to read, understand, and answer an open response question by making a claim and finding 3 pieces of supporting evidence from a text, and that they will record this claim and evidence on our T-chart. This morning you're going to be coming into my classroom to see my group of second graders who are going to be showing you how much they've learned about doing open response questions. As you know, it's been our year-round focus to do that. So we are at the point now where they are doing their T-charts. We're making our claims. They can go back and find evidence. To start the lesson, I'm going to just review the story with them. Then I'm going to give them the question, in what ways do ants use teamwork, and ask them to make a claim and then tell them that they're going to find their typical 3 pieces of evidence. Today what they're going to do is to use sticky notes, an idea that I got from Jen, to find the evidence. And I have been having them label the evidence in their T-charts, but today I'm also going to have them label the sticky notes with E1 for evidence 1, evidence 2, evidence 3. Tomorrow what we'll do is we will take it and then turn it into the open response question that they would be used to doing as far as putting it in paragraph form. So let's take a look and see what you remember about the story before I challenge you this morning with our open response question. We go to the classroom and then observe the lesson. The lesson that I taught today was on our instructional focus. And that came from study of data that we had done about where our children were lacking. We noticed that there was a definite need for us to do a better job on helping them to answer open response questions. All right, now, this morning, what we're going to do is answer an open response question about this story. And our question is, in what ways do ants use teamwork? Now, do you remember all the times we read about things that ants need to do together? Yes, so that's what I'm going to ask you to find evidence for this morning. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a copy of this question, and that means that we have to unpack this question. We need to figure out exactly what it is we have to do, exactly what it is we're looking for when we start to look for our evidence. And I put another little direction on there for us, just as a reminder. And it says, in what ways do ants use teamwork? And then what did I write as a reminder of how we do open response questions?
It says,
Jelani. Make
a claim and give 3 pieces of evidence from the text to support your claim.
Exactly. Make a claim and give 3 pieces of evidence from the text to support that claim. And support means let's prove it. All right, so let's state our claim. Now our question is, in what ways do ants use teamwork? So how can we turn that into our claim? What is it exactly that we have to prove? What did you think, Andrew?
Ants use teamwork in a lot of ways.
Oh, I like that one too. Ants use teamwork in a... And then I modeled for them how I wanted them to find the evidence. To go through, I gave them a couple of hints of what kind of words to look for as they were searching through the text, and I asked them to mark any evidence that they felt fit the criteria of our question with a sticky note. When it looked like everyone was pretty much all set with 3 pieces of evidence, then I asked them for suggestions about what they had found, and then we recorded it on the chart. Afterward, we get together and not so much critique it as in, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, but more or less to kind of give you a sense of how you're doing with it. When we did our post round, I was hoping that they could give me some input about, what I could have done better. Was my explanation clear enough? If they've done a similar thing in their classroom, what was their approach? What did they do with it? Did they do something different that they found more successful?
It was great how you kept asking them over and over and over to prove it, because it was bringing that focus statement that we say every single day back into the lesson and making it all connected for them so they could really see that this matters and that's what it means.
I really liked how you went and reviewed and reviewed the text again, because it gave them that great refresher, and you kept saying on this page.
So I was wondering if anyone had any suggestions about how they can pull evidence out of a text that they can't mark up.
In third grade, I've actually used the sticky notes, but in another way. As opposed to just marking the page, I have them put the sticky note right under the lines that they're looking for, and they mark, paragraph 2 or line 1, and that helps them then when they have to transfer that over. It gets them used to, because on the MCAS they can underline.
I think some of the benefits are that you're doing a lesson, and I find it's like, gee, I hope this is going over well. But then you go into another teacher's classroom, and they're kind of doing the same similar thing, and you say, oh, I guess I am on the right page. I think we learn a lot from each other. I think the rounds has really built up our community of teachers here. It validates what you do, and you're also learning from your peers things that you could do better. So we have great resources here. So it's nice to be able to just to go into someone's classroom and say, gee, I'm having trouble with this, or I want to teach this, and I know you did a lesson on it, and how did you do it? What was successful? What wasn't? And I think building that community of people, we're comfortable doing that.
From the meeting time, the collaboration time, I have come away with new ideas to help students that I thought were doing fine but have now risen to another level of performance just from things that I might not have picked up on. Because you see a student and you see a student work every day, you might miss something. You just think, okay, this is that student, and someone else can come in and say, you want to try this? This worked on one of mine. And I've seen results.